5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wait, I'm gonna throttle it as it's not.
Mate, what a drive. What a way to finish the first half of the year. P10 to P1. Fantastic.
Yes! Wow, very nice. I did the same car and we won it. Yes! Boys, come on! Yes! Oh, this feels good. This feels really good.
Incredible. Okay, well held, Max. Well held.
Yeah, heartbeat went a bit higher there. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, we made maybe a gamble with the intermediates, but then the car was flying once we put the rain tires on again.
Yeah, cracking drive, mate. Really, really good.
You were getting excited, weren't you?
You got me a little bit excited. Nice job. Was that worth the wait? You are the man.
Oh, yes! What an unbelievable race, guys! You know what that is? Simply lovely, I tell you that. Great job. Thank you very much, Christian.
Verstappen keeping us on the edge of our seats here, but if you're only just joining us, it might all be for nothing in terms of a podium place in this Monaco Grand Prix, because he's got a 5-second time penalty coming his way at the end of this race for an unsafe release. So if he finishes behind Hamilton, they'll add 5 seconds to his penalty, and Vettel and Bottas will then overtake him. At the moment, if he finishes ahead of Hamilton, he'll probably still finish off the podium, but he will want to stick a move in just to make a memory.
To be able to double stack the Mercedes during the safety car, I think it's cost him a chance of winning this Grand Prix.
But he'd have been doing that under team orders.
Well, let's see. I mean, without that contact, would they have brought him?
Here goes Verstappen down the inside on Lewis Hamilton. They make contact. Hamilton has to cut the chicane. Verstappen does as well. Kevin Magnussen is lapped. There was definite contact there as Verstappen sent one into the chicane to try and get past.
It's so disappointing for Max that he didn't. He should have taken a lot more trouble to go around the first part of the chicane there. That's bold.
I'm not sure Verstappen was alongside until he locked up and then hit the Mercedes.
No, that was a mugging, that wasn't an overtake. I think he made a mistake. I think Verstappen made a mistake in there somewhere.
Well, it's his former teammate Daniel Ricciardo. I get the feeling that he's getting affected by the turbulent weight of that Renault ahead of him. So Hamilton, once more, right on the tail of that Red Bull and trying to hang on to the Red Bull around that corner. Ricciardo is about to be lapped, and Hamilton is gaining now on Verstappen. He's gaining. He manages to get round Ricciardo. Goes a long way round turn one. Verstappen just about holds on, but now Hamilton is much closer as they head towards turn two. Leader and second place almost wheel to wheel through that corner. Hamilton is trying absolutely everything. Verstappen is defending for his life, but he is still under threat. And this time Hamilton goes round the outside in turn four, goes off the track in doing so. Verstappen keeps his place out in front. Hamilton has got that much quicker. At one stage, Hamilton didn't think he was on the right strategy, remember? At one stage, he questioned it, thought he was too far behind. And look how that has changed in the last few laps.
Got to be super tidy through the last corner.
41 laps ago, Max Verstappen put those tyres on. That's why he's struggling for grip. Hamilton, much fresher tyres. And now with a bank to the crowd and a packed Budapest, Hamilton chases down the main straight, pulls out to the right-hand side and makes his way round the long way and into the lead. Hamilton passes Verstappen. Mercedes strategy has got it right. And on lap 67, Hamilton, from being second, might now just think about a 7th Hungarian Grand Prix win. Here goes Verstappen. Lewis tries to cover him off. Verstappen through a turn one, and he has made amends for getting held up in the pit lane at the earliest available opportunity. That was brilliant from Max Verstappen.
And now Hamilton's got the DRS down towards turn four. Verstappen goes on the defensive. It'll be a more of an acute angle into the corner. Has he got it covered? He has.
This could turn out to be the battle that we've been waiting for ever since Hungary, when Lewis Hamilton caught Max Verstappen right at the end of the race. As Max Verstappen over the hill comes wheel to wheel with Lewis Hamilton, round the outside of turn one he goes. Verstappen's got the restart sorted. That was fantastic. Albon's got ahead of the two Ferraris. Leclerc now gets shot wide by Sebastian Vettel. Verstappen leads. Hamilton coming back. Then comes Albon and Vettel. Verstappen and Hamilton wheel to wheel to the Cena de Lago, and Hamilton just has to back out. There was no more room for it.
No drag reduction system for 2 laps after the safety car's gone in. So that then gives Verstappen a little bit of breathing space against the Mercedes climbing up the hill. He's got the gap he needs now.
That was magnificent there by Max Verstappen. It was absolutely outstanding. We've had 9 wet weather-affected German Grand Prix in the past. Guess what? We've got a 10th today. Welcome along to the German Grand Prix in 2019, the 37th and possibly the last for the foreseeable future here in Hockenheim, where Pole has won 18 of the previous 36 races. And it's lights out and away we go. It's a tentative start from everybody, but Hamilton gets away well, as does Bottas, and Verstappen's dropping back as Raikkonen is already ahead of him as well. Verstappen on the inside and Grosjean going wide. Valtteri Bottas through turn 1. That'll give Kimi Raikkonen encouragement. Where's Pierre Gasly? He's heading backwards in the Red Bull as well. Into turn 2. Hamilton from Bottas, who's made up for the mistake. Raikkonen, Verstappen, Grosjean. Then comes Sainz and Hulkenberg. Gasly and Leclerc going wide there. Is the Alfa Romeo of Giovinazzi.
The Red Bulls were very slow away, Verstappen particularly, so they had an awful start. They just did not get the car rolling.
Romain Grosjean makes up a place up to 5th, Sainz 6th, Hulkenberg 7th, Gasly's now down in 8th place. Down the inside goes the Renault of Nico Hulkenberg and Romain Grosjean, and Hulkenberg and Grosjean touch wheel. Sainz has to take to the escape road. At the back, Sebastian Vettel's made up 6 places already.
Yeah, Vettel having a great first 5 corners, to say the least. And so is Leclerc. Leclerc's right up there now as well.
Gasly squirming away, he's got no grip whatsoever. It's like a slow motion replay almost for the Red Bull driver. He just can't find the grip. But out in front, Lewis Hamilton continues to lead as Gasly and Sainz go wheel to wheel now, heading towards the stadium section as through the gloom they come. Perez looking for a move on Magnussen. Gasly just ahead of Carlos Sainz, and very, very unsteady there from the Haas of Kevin Magnussen. That'll give Sergio Perez even more encouragement.
So Vettel pinned in 14th at the moment. Leclerc is up to 6th. Leclerc up to 6th, but what a start from Raikkonen, the wise old head of Kimi Raikkonen.
Verstappen has got Kimi Raikkonen into the hairpin. Verstappen is ahead and up to 3rd place. That looked to me like Sergio Perez had got Kevin Magnussen. Yes, he has. Perez now up into the points again in 10th place. Magnussen's got back ahead of Sergio Perez. Sebastian Vettel now up to 13th. He's managed to get past Daniel Ricciardo as well. Oh, there's a spin! There's a spin in Sergio Perez, who did very well if he managed to avoid the wall, and I don't think he has, because look at the rear wing of the Racing Point, and Perez is out of this race. Sergio Perez, he's behind Kevin Magnussen, and there he goes, sailing, literally, to the other side of the track.
Barely tickled the throttle, did he, coming out of there? He just had no grip at all. This is the key thing now.
Coming in
Which teams are geared up to double stack close running drivers in the same team?
They're all coming in, Martin. 2.6 seconds stop time for Hamilton, but Bottas getting caught out because he had to stay stationary whilst other cars went past. Almost double the time, and Max Verstappen still gets out behind Valtteri Bottas, so no damage done in terms of losing a place to the Red Bull. Leclerc came in, Ricciardo came in, and Sainz as well. This is what happened down at Haas. Romain Grosjean, Grosjean had to slam on the brakes there as the Ferrari made its exit. Here comes Charles Leclerc then into the first corner on the inside, and Kevin Magnussen has to take a bit of curve there to keep out of the way of the Haas, but gets better traction going out of turn 1, the drag race towards turn 2. The Ferrari wins out easily, and the problem
He can slow it down.
he can, but not really quick enough. Comes back onto the track, stays ahead. Magnussen might lose out, but he's compromised, and now the Renault of Nico Hulkenberg says thank you very much. Charles Leclerc, you've just earned me a place there. Hulkenberg gets past Magnussen, Leclerc's in 4th.
Yeah, Hulkenberg's going to fancy a run at the Ferrari. He's got nothing to lose, has he? He doesn't care.
It's a couple of times now Leclerc's gone very, very deep into the slow corners. This time it's Hulkenberg who goes deep in the hope of getting a better amount of traction on the exit of it. Stays behind Leclerc, but this is a great scrap that's ensuing now between the other German runner in this race, Nico Hulkenberg and Charles Leclerc.
Yeah.
This is what Sebastian Vettel has been up to. Robert Kubica on the left-hand side. Kimi Raikkonen just ahead. Ooh, how did he not make contact there with Robert Kubica? Fine piece of avoidance driving. Lando Norris getting passed down the inside by Kimi Raikkonen as well.
The three at the front are travelling much faster than anybody else, especially Lewis Hamilton.
So at the moment, Magnussen's rather holding up this trio, and that's helping Sebastian Vettel. Lewis, Kimi Raikkonen struggling for traction there. Sebastian Vettel alongside him into turn 1. This could be interesting as they concertina up. Magnussen can't take it as fast as he would like to because he's on the slower tyre. Kimi Raikkonen says thank you very much indeed. I thought for one moment Sebastian Vettel was going to come out on top in this battle. Charles Leclerc needed some very quick reactions to stay in this race though, Martin.
Yeah, he dropped his left rear wheel over the curb on the outside. That's the drag racing start line. That is going to be so slippery. Look at it. And standing water for good measure. Well held, young man.
Here in our little commentary box, high up in the grandstand, overlooking those pit walls. It's absolutely bone dry, and I'm loving the action here. That is Daniel Ricciardo, and that looks like a massive engine problem for the Renault driver. And a visor full of God knows what for Pierre Gasly, who's got ahead of Danny Kvyat.
Yeah, he passed Kvyat in the middle of all of that.
Daniel Ricciardo has, I think, got to the Mercedes-Benz grandstand and pulled over to the side of the track and parked it in a safe place. DRS is now enabled. It's the first time we've actually had DRS in this race. It is, isn't it? So that will help Max Verstappen. It is pursuit now of Valtteri Bottas. He's got a few more weapons at his disposal, and he's having a look down the hairpin. He's got it all wrong because Bottas was there for the taking, he thought, and in the end the gap just went away from him, and to avoid contact he had to go way deeper on the apex than he would have wanted, and look how that has cost Max Verstappen. Oh, that is Carlos Sainz, and Carlos Sainz has managed to keep the engine running, and that's down that drag racing strip again at the final turn.
He's done the same as Leclerc nearly did, hasn't he? Yeah, he's gone on to that, there we go, it's the skating rink, the drag strip. Lucky to keep that going as well. Vettel then pits for slick tyres. They're in the clouds of the gods now. If it doesn't rain, they're going to look very smart and they'll get up to temperature eventually, as long as they don't fly off the road.
Medium tyres going on to the Red Bull, not the softs, it's the medium. To the end of the race, well, there's a long way to go to the end of this race. Has Verstappen just been off the track?
He's had the spin there. Oh, look at that. Underneath the car and all the little aero pieces are loaded good. No grip at all.
They should give me the soft tires. Straight for half.
Norris has gone off as well. All the slicks.
That looks like a technical issue, doesn't it? It looks like he's just retiring from the race.
No.
Oh, we got another spinner there while
That's
we're watching
Lance
that.
Stroll. I've lost power. Gears think gone. Lost power.
What will they do with Leclerc and Hamilton when they come in? You've got to put soft tyres on from what we're seeing out there. And Leclerc pits now, so we're about to find out.
And Stroll's got going
Soft
again.
tyres for Leclerc.
Soft tyres, Charles Leclerc. Hamilton continues to lead this race. Charles Leclerc is in second place at the moment, and Charles Leclerc is going to keep that second place even after this pit stop, because Bottas and Verstappen are just coming around the final corner now. This could be interesting, Tech, because the virtual safety car ended just as Lewis Hamilton came in. That is a longer stop than you'd normally expect. Leclerc's going through turn 14.
The right front wasn't ready for some reason.
Charles Leclerc coming now round. Oh, Charles Leclerc's gone out, gone right and gone out. Leclerc has gone into the barriers at the penultimate turn, and a second Ferrari in the space of 2 races here in the German Grand Prix has ended up into the barriers. It was Sebastian Vettel last year. It's Charles Leclerc this year, and that car looks beached, and his hopes of a great result this afternoon have slid away. No grip really there. Try and keep off the curbs if you can.
Oh, he had a tiny bit of understeer, and now he's just going to skate straight into the barriers. It wasn't exactly pushing that hard, it just snapped to the back. He had to countersteer to turn into the slide.
And I think Lewis Hamilton's gone off as well, but he's carried on.
And he's lost his front wing, hasn't he?
There's damage to the front wing, certainly. Hamilton went off at exactly the same spot. As you can see, managed to keep going. Our race leader now into the pits needs a new front wing.
Box, I've lost the record. Yeah, coming in. You want Inter? Yes.
Valtteri Bottas takes the lead of this race.
They're not ready for him. They weren't expecting him. They didn't know it's happened. They had no idea that it's happened.
Well, they weren't ready for him because he's only come in because of that accident, and I think now they're going to look to get maybe intermediate tyres on as well. They're scrambling around all the while Lewis Hamilton's losing out. Bottas takes the lead. Verstappen now goes into second place. Hülkenberg has just pitted again and moves up into third place whilst they still work on the car of Lewis Hamilton, who was cruising, it seemed, out in front. But in one split second, Leclerc goes, and Hamilton's chances of victory looks like they're going as as well.
They've got to make sure they get the right tyres on it, that they're not Bottas's tyres, for example.
Correct.
They've got a mixture of tyres on that car at the moment. And now we've got Inter's back on it now. That's what they're doing, they've changed their mind on the tyres. And of course, when you've got to change the nose, you can't use the front jack, because the front jack jacks up on the nose itself. So Lewis, skaty that is, and just a little clout of the barrier, but he had some momentum when he hit the barrier, and now he obviously hasn't been able to go around the bollard.
Whoa. Let's take a pause.
Yeah, just thinking through, Robbie. I'm trying to think when Verstappen came in and put the inters on.
He came in whilst we were watching Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen slipped in and made his pit stop. Wasn't that a timely pit stop for Max Verstappen, who a couple of laps before Hamilton and Leclerc did their business had his own spin as well. Verstappen leads them over the line then from Nico Hülkenberg in his home Grand Prix, running in second place. Valtteri Bottas started third, is running third. Alex Albon has Lewis Hamilton behind him, then Carlos Sainz. Sebastian Vettel's making a move on Pierre Gasly's got to stay behind the Red Bull for just a little bit longer, and Gasly's got to try and get some heat into those tyres once again as Giovinazzi now coming at Sebastian Vettel and Danny Kvyat, and then we've got Kevin Magnussen and Romain Grosjean scrapping away in the two Hasses right at the rear of the field as well. Onwards, down towards the hairpin we go. Verstappen, Hülkenberg, Bottas, Albon, Sainz thinking about a move on Hamilton. Is he going to go down the inside? Not on this occasion. Vettel's going to look down the inside on Pierre Gasly. There's a 5-second time penalty for Lewis Hamilton for going the wrong side of the bollard. Vettel gets past Pierre Gasly and makes his way up into 8th place.
Yeah, Gasly just passed him, that's why. So he's got that position back again.
And it's also not getting any better for Hamilton in the steward room potentially as well, because he's under investigation once again. The stewards, the drivers have a lap that they must adhere to. Hamilton's going to have a go on Albon, is he? Just a bit too far back on this occasion. We'll switch through and take that very tight inside line out of the hairpin. Lewis Hamilton getting past Alex Albon, been held up by the Toro Rosso, going wheel to wheel, and then ahead is now Valtteri Bottas right on the tail of Nico Hülkenberg as well. Bottas on Nico Hülkenberg to the hairpin down the inside. Hülkenberg gives that one up, doesn't really fight it. Such was the pace difference between the Mercedes and the Renault. There is the Renault of Nico Hülkenberg, and he's ending his home Grand Prix in the barriers, and another car in the barriers at the final corner. Oh, what a race this is
another
turning
safety
into.
car. That'll be another safety car then. It's exactly the same situation. He's dug a hole like he's building a sandcastle on the beach on a Sunday afternoon. That's just plain understeered off, hasn't it? And then that's caught him out. And then he actually hitting the brakes was the worst thing he could do at that point.
We've got a gambler on slicks. Who's Lance Stroll? Lance Stroll, they're going to be watching the data there to see if it is good for slicks or not. They might as well take a gamble. He's down in 14th place. Look at the difference in the tyres that's helping out Verstappen, but Hamilton in a bit of trouble here, and Alex Albon will go round the outside. Gasly and Sainz waiting behind. Sainz goes down the inside. Now wheel to wheel with Lewis Hamilton. Albon has lost out. Gasly's waiting to have a go at him. Sainz couldn't quite get past the Mercedes.
Hamilton must have had some kind of issue in turns 2 and 3, because that pack was right on his tail by the time he arrived at 6.
Down the inside of Alex Albon goes Pierre Gasly, and this time he is lighting up his tyres as Albon goes wide. And from 4th, Albon is all the way now down in 7th place and make that 8th as Sebastian Vettel gets past him as well.
And Verstappen then is first of the front runners to go with the slicks.
And there's a whole load more coming in on the slicks as well. Hamilton has stayed out and leads this race. Raikkonen stayed out, Vettel stayed out, Giovinazzi stayed out. They're the top 4. Verstappen back on the track again now, behind Stroll. Stroll is up to 6th place. Lance Stroll, I think, might now, as Hamilton pits as well, be leading the race. The gamble at Racing Point has put Lance Stroll into the lead of the German Grand Prix.
With Verstappen right on his tail.
They are cheering in the grandstands because they can see what's going on here. Danny Kvyat is running in 3rd. Back out the racetrack. Hamilton now down in 12th because he had to serve the 5-second penalty.
Yeah. If it could go wrong, it has gone wrong so far for Lewis, but at least he's still on the track, and Verstappen has retaken the lead from Lance Stroll.
How's it gone this bad?
Alex Albon on a slick tyre, getting round Pierre Gasly, forces Gasly wide, and does a very nice move indeed to take 7th place down at the hairpin. Kvyat, by the way, on the soft tyre, just set the new fastest lap of the race.
Kvyat will have DRS, the rear wing opens, the big letterbox in the rear wing opens, and he sails past in the Toro Rosso Honda.
And that is a fight that Lance Stroll would like to carry on for a while, but it wasn't really a fight that he was looking like winning. The Toro Rosso looks a supercar at the moment.
Sainz flying along nicely as well, keeping up with Bottas, who's closing in on the racing point of Stroll.
Someone's gone off, and it's Lewis Hamilton, who's gone off at the first corner. Manages to keep the car going, but now only has the Williams of Kubica and Russell behind him.
He's turned in and he's gone round. It's amazing that didn't make the barriers. Wow, he's just got a little bit wide and touched the wetter part of the track. It's not often you see Lewis making mistakes like that, but that's a driver error.
My God, this guy is incredible. He will never learn. What is it doing?
Well, at least they're still running. It's not something you could say after Silverstone last time out, but neither of them have listened to the words of Gunther Steiner in the build-up to this race.
They managed to connect twice on the opening lap in Silverstone. And
Oh, that's sliding out, that's Valtteri Bottas! Bottas is out of the race!
safety car.
There'll be another safety car here. Oh, and Toto Wolff bangs his fist on the desk in front of him as Valtteri Bottas, pushing hard to catch Lance Stroll, has spun off into the barriers, and this 200th Formula One Grand Prix for Mercedes is one they will want to forget in a hurry. The foot is flat to the floor for Sebastian Vettel. Lance Stroll defends down the inside, goes very early to defend, but is powerless to defend. The speed of the Ferrari carries Sebastian Vettel past, and you're either wearing orange at Hockenheim or you're wearing red at Hockenheim, and it's the red fans that are absolutely loving that one, because the homegrown hero is up into the podium, and they're going wide. That's Gasly. There's a problem there with his front wing.
He tried to overtake the Toro Rosso down into turn 6. I just saw that before. I think they might have touched Crofty, and I think he just runs into the back of him as he pulls to the right.
He does.
No! So Albon went for the defence, and Gasly was going to the right. They both went right together. Vettel
Danny
now.
Kvyat was in second place, and they love that. Listen to the roar for Sebastian Vettel, 20th up to second, and that might just ease some of the pain and the memories of this time last year, where of course he crashed out in his home Grand Prix. This time around he's replicating Juan Pablo Montoya from 2005, going from 20th all the way up into second place. From front row to victory, and victory to win the German Grand Prix. It is fireworks and flames for Max Verstappen, the winner of the German Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel from 20th to second, and keep the applause going for Danny Kvyat, a third podium in Formula One. Well done to Toro Rosso and to the Russian. Commiserations to Lance Stroll and Racing Point. That is an excellent result for them. They're best in Formula One. It could have been a podium, so near.
Strategic move of the race though. Racing Point, well done guys. Amazing stuff.
Mercedes celebrated at their home race, and in the end, Toro Rosso, Ferrari and Red Bull stops the juggernauts that was Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton. Max Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel and Danny Kvyat were there to pick up the pieces, and everybody has a massive smile on their faces at the Hockenheim ring. What a race that was.
Can Raikkonen sweep in? Yeah! Brilliant!
What a brilliant move!
That could be hero and zero stuff.
Yeah.
Don't collide, guys, please don't collide.
You'll go a long way through the archives to see another version of that.
One of the great moves. I can't believe he did that. That was from so far away. That was ridiculous. It's
Zonta, and Hakkinen brilliantly takes the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix.
And you can see the delight in the McLaren garage, because that could well have decided the race. A superb, gritty, determined, forceful move from Mika Hakkinen.
Michael defending the track, making his Ferrari as wide as he can. He then went round the outside of Zonta, and Hakkinen said, "Thank you very much. I'll have a piece of that side of the racetrack then this time around," and really took Michael by surprise.
He's moving to the right, making it hard, and Nelson's got round the outside of it. Oh! Big side for Nelson, the steering contact. Tremendous stuff, real stuff.
Yes, and of course Senna will have had to back off momentarily there. He will have lost a bit of momentum, but that was a superb bit of driving. Let's see it again.
Yes, Senna moves to the right, Nelson breaks him down the outside, gets through. Smart from the car bottom, he's on the white line, which won't help his braking. Lose grip on that, and locks the right rear wheel, which he lost earlier when he tried to pass. Tremendous stuff.
Michael goes to the inside, tried to block the line in 130R, and Alonso having none of it, straight around the outside.
180 miles an hour around the outside of the 130R corner. I've never seen anything like it. Enormous bravery by Alonso, brilliant driving by Michael Schumacher, not for both of them to have an enormous aeroplane accident.
Can he get a better run this time?
Well, let's see.
He's going to have to dummy him, he's going to have to pretend he's going right.
And Sebastian Vettel goes onto the grass this time. Sebastian Vettel on the inside does manage to get past Valtteri Bottas. He switched one way the other and went back onto the inside again.
That's a late move and almost a second move. I think if Vettel hadn't have got through there, he'd have been on the radio complaining about that one.
Yeah, he might have been complaining, Martin, but you are allowed to do it now. That Max Verstappen rule doesn't exist anymore.
As we ride with Gerhard Berger on the last lap of the Mexican Grand Prix, with Alain Prost seemingly going to win it, and Mansell going round the outside. Incredible! Up into second place, he's regained that second place, and now he's rocketing away from Berger on the last lap in Mexico.
Verstappen is close to Rosberg. Hamilton towards the DRS as he goes. Under braking, Verstappen is late on Rosberg but can't quite close up. Rosberg keeps that second place. Behind them comes Sergio Perez, and then Carlos Sainz and Daniel Ricciardo. There's a very wide turn there by Felipe Nasser, almost making contact with Esteban Ocon now. Down the Retroposta we go. The spray behind us. Now see Max Verstappen overtaking Nico Rosberg. I wanted to wait a couple of seconds to see if it happened, and as they emerged into the light, Verstappen takes second place.
What confidence! The boy just goes and finds grip everywhere else. Okay, you're going there, I'll just go somewhere else then and see how it is out there. Absolutely brilliant. He's been rehearsing that, we've been watching him, and right around the outside of turn 3, while his rival is nursing the throttle pedal, boom, P2. Tighter than that. Oh, and they nearly touched. Can Raikkonen sweep in? Yes! Brilliant!
What a brilliant move! Side by side down the straight. Grand Prix racing at its absolute finest.
Sergio Perez on Kimi Raikkonen, down the inside goes Sergio Perez.
Everything under control, and Kimi doesn't have to fight it either because he knows he has to give the position. So
a nice moment for Sergio Perez, nonetheless.
Believe me, it's very difficult. Somebody breathing down your neck, especially somebody with the name and reputation, etc. in McLaren, and Senna has made it alongside. He's won the corner. And look at the lazy, that's cheeky, isn't it? Senna was a little bit sloppy, and Alesi was back in the lead. Fantastic stuff by Alesi. Tremendous opportunity driving.
There's a lot of rough stuff on the inside, and Senna goes through again. Now he's not going to make this mistake again. Ayrton Senna has retaken the lead, and this time he prevented Alesi from getting through. Or did he? Because Alesi tried to go through on the inside, but Senna's got the inside line. What a magnificent race for Alesi, and for Tyrrell, and for Pirelli.
Real racer stuff, and he's still trying.
Daniel Ricciardo hasn't put a foot wrong yet.
That right rear of Bottas looks even worse.
Here we go. And Bottas covers it off, but he can't cover it off totally. Ricciardo somehow finds a gap there, and Valtteri Bottas gave him enough respect and enough room, and he squeezed through Daniel Ricciardo to take the lead at the Chinese Grand Prix. Surely there wasn't any room. Oh yes, there was.
I think he thought at the beginning, no, he's coming. Actually, you know what he has? That could be hero and zero stuff. He had it there, but he made it stick. Well done, Daniel Ricciardo. Here we go. Yeah, you can try that, but I'm coming through anyway. And in fact, I can't even stop, so I've got to come through.
Schumacher goes through, Ralph is going through, puts his wheels on the curb, Michael fights back, and Barrichello closes up on both of them, and Ralph Schumacher is stretching ahead. This is a brother to brother, Barrichello goes through. Wow, fantastic. Barrichello takes both of them. Michael goes down to 5th place, and Ralph Schumacher goes to 4th.
Just go through the morals of that. He had to shuffle his brother out of the way to let his teammate through. What a terrible position to find yourself in. But Michael did it. He stuffed his brother to help his teammate. It looks like a tear off flapping. They need to tell him to tear that off. With that going around the outside of Alonso, because we're busy watching Jensen. And can he now make it go around there? No, Alonso not
Here he
quite.
goes, he's going for it, up the inside, up the apex, he's made it stick, Butler's into second place, what a brilliant move by Jensen Butler, the VAR guys love it.
Jensen just stuck it up the inside, really. Alonso very cautious under braking, struggling a bit with his car. Jensen has followed him long enough to know where he's got the advantage. He had actually taken second place, went into turn 4 too hot into the hairpin, had to make it stick down there in turn 6.
Oh, there goes Hulkenberg down the inside of Kevin Magnussen and Portier. Oh, what a move from Nico Hulkenberg.
You're going a long way through the archives to see another version of that.
And absolutely inch perfect, no coming together whatsoever.
So this is the final Grand Prix of Michael Schumacher's career. He's going out fighting, he's racing with Raikkonen, he's trying to block him into turn 1. Schumacher's having none of it. They're side by side. Don't collide, guys, please don't collide. Raikkonen gives it room. Schumacher is through. The crowd go bananas. And that says everything you need to know about Michael Schumacher's spirit.
Raikkonen thought he got that one covered off. Was getting ready to take the corner. And Michael has said, okay, I've still got enough space. And there's so much grip down there on the inside of turn 1. Always has been. Michael knows that as well as anybody. And Kimi released him a little bit too early. Realised he made the mistake. Trying to squeeze him back one more time. And Schumacher takes the position. Massa's still very close to Kovalainen too. I think David Coulthard's sitting there thinking, I actually fancy a piece of the podium. Look, Raikkonen's got right round the outside of 5 this time though, where he was quicker last time, and completely surprised Coulthard there by just finding that grip around the outside. Now he brings himself into play.
Is there a room to muscle his way past at Raskas? No, Jensen Button catching up on this particular fight, getting quite interested too.
He's got a chance down into Sam Devon with the DRS, and then Maldonado will break early, but he needs to be wary of that. Go for it, Max.
And he's going to go for it. Maldonado goes very close to the barrier, and past goes Max Verstappen and up into 8th place. Nice clean move.
Whoa, we're running wide there, absolutely. Montoya and Raikkonen is going to capitalise on it. Well, we saw a fantastic scrap between these two at Hockenheim 3 weeks ago, wheel to wheel, for a sequence of 5 or 6 corners. It was mesmerising stuff. And on that occasion, Montoya managed to get past Raikkonen, who had to get off the throttle. But Montoya making a little mistake there, perhaps in the pressure.
And Raikkonen didn't really punish him enough. Raikkonen decided to get all active
Ricardo's hanging around. Wow, great control. Back to the podium for this afternoon.
As he comes out just in front of Mark Webber, so it's worked quite well for Mark Webber too. And Webber then fancies a run. Oh, they're so close on the way in, and Alonso had to yield, and just as well he did. Right, come back, turn around, David. It's all right. They didn't hit each other.
From the screen, I thought that was going to be an almighty coming together, but great respect from those two drivers, and an incredibly great move from Mark Webber there.
And let's watch this, maybe from behind the pillow. Look at this. He flicks down the inside, and he's not going to give. They nearly touched. That's incredible. Alonso saved them from an almighty accident there.
Ross gets away well, so does Hill, so does Schumacher, and Bendlinger is coming up well. Senna is crowded out and is down to 5th position, and Bendlinger is up in the 3rd place ahead of Schumacher. Brilliant start by the Austrian driver in the Black Sauber. Prost leads, Hill 2nd, Bendlinger is 3rd, and Ayrton Senna is up to 4th position ahead of Schumacher, and challenging Bendlinger as they go round the right-hander into the old hairpin. Senna is up to 3rd.
And after being crowded at the start, a quite brilliant couple of corners by Ayrton Senna. Tremendous stuff. He muscled his way back into the contention at Redgate. He's going inside David Hill. And Senna into 2nd place already. And he's giving it absolutely everything in the wet part of the race.
So now, as before, the two free rivals, and that's Andretti. He's done it again on the very first lap. Mario Andretti is out as he was in Brazil, as he almost was in South Africa. 3 Grand Prix, and he has only done 3 full laps. And so out is Bendlinger. So 2 retirements already. Michael Andretti and Carl Bendlinger, and Senna goes through into the lead. He's passed Alain Prost, so the McLaren leads. Prost 2nd, Hill is 3rd. A tremendous gap between the 3rd and 4th car.
Here we go. Look, this is Irvine going around the outside of, and he's going to take Schumacher too. Irvine taking 2 cars in one corner.
Turn 2. Now, Eddie Irvine really knows this Suzuka circuit.
Vettel is having a look at the other Ferrari. This time he's going to go down the outside. That's a better line, as long as he doesn't end up with too much grass. And Alonso pushed him wide, he would have none of it. And Vettel has the turn-in point. And that was bravery at 200 miles an hour. Nobody would lift off the throttle. Nobody would yield. And Vettel came out the winner. Here we see Montoya getting a good run out of forward chicane. Michael inevitably having to go defensive.
Michael Schumacher has spun off. He was side by side with Juan Montoya, and he has the 2 made contact down at the Dunlop hairpin.
Montoya says, no problem, I'll have a go down the outside. Squeezes Michael in, they touch. And how Michael spun and Juan Pablo didn't, I have no idea. It's the Williams that should be gyrating, not the Ferrari. And somehow or other, Michael just went too cautious in there, and it worked out, luckily but beautifully, for Juan Pablo Montoya. Here it is from another angle. So Michael's got the racing line and just gets it all sideways.
And then Massa were on board with him, battling with Kubica over 6th place. Kovalainen has finished 2nd, Raikkonen is 3rd. Kubica and Massa are battling here. Massa has taken the place away from Kubica, and in the very corner where Kubica hit Lewis Hamilton, Kovalainen 2nd, then Raikkonen 3rd. David Coulthard's 4th, and who's going to win out of these 2?
It's got all the hallmarks of Dijon so many decades ago, but it's Massa who's come out in front. What an extraordinary few corners, as they were trading, literally blows towards the end of the race, and it's Massa who takes 6th.
One Williams still left in the Grand Prix is Alex Albon, and he is fighting his way past the RB, fighting his way past the Alpine, and that is dramatic stuff. To get up to 9th, he got past Daniel Ricciardo and Esteban Ocon.
One of the great moves on the outside of one of the RBs there. That's Ricciardo ahead first, and this is what Albon's looking at, just staring at the back of this car as Ricciardo goes defensive. Now he's thinking, okay, let's just hold it. Ocon's on a used tyre. Oh, you've got to go on the inside. Not even contact. Ocon doesn't turn in. Brilliant stuff.
Nice start by both the McLarens. Look at Kubica attacking Hamilton. We've got yellow flags in the back. Hamilton's had some manners put on him by
PK will hold the inside line. And Mansell through. And a tremendous drive by Nigel, but that really was a bad mistake by PK to go back to the other side of the track. He just opens the door again. And Nigel Mansell really should have held the right-hand side of the track and made Nigel go around the outside. And so Nigel Mansell looks as if he's sewn up the British Grand Prix.
Watch Mansell come first to the left, now to the right. He's got the inside line. He is level with Nelson Piquet.
This is going to be very close into Stoke Corner.
Perez is catching Charles Leclerc. He takes him towards the inside. Perez on the inside. Charles Leclerc gives him just enough space. Can Perez squeeze past? They're going wheel to wheel towards Vale now. Who's going to be last on the break? Leclerc has that inside line. Perez goes off the track. Comes the chicane. Up goes Leclerc. Through goes Hamilton. Unbelievable stuff coming out of the final corner. Perez and Leclerc going for it. Hamilton says thank you very much. Another thing opens up for him.
14-hole station. Nigel is positioning himself. He doesn't want to overrun Montoya. He wants to be able to pick up the throttle, drive the car through 15, and also maintain that momentum through 16, so he can get onto the rear of the car. And therefore, as they come down into turn 1 at the end of the pit straight, to ensure that he's got a chance to pass. He's closing, but again, Montoya defends down the inside. Michael can do nothing this time again.
But again, Montoya loses speed in the middle part, and here comes Michael. Michael gets back into Montoya, and Schumacher retakes the lead. A round of applause from the Ferrari mechanics. But these two guys are really racing. This is what motor racing's about, wheel to wheel, giving each other just enough room, making tiny mistakes, trying to take advantage. And Schumacher and Montoya, this is what it's all about.
Well, that is a total brilliance from Michael Schumacher. He knew that he forced Montoya into turn 1 to brake late, to not then have the ideal entry to the corner. He's probably off the throttle too long. Michael cut back to the right and just drove around him with about another 5 or 6 miles an hour advantage. Now Raikkonen's going to give a lot of heat to Juan Pablo Montoya.
Yeah, but look at Michael. He's really beginning to pull away. He's definitely got the speed advantage here. And now that he's managed to get past, he is flying as he begins to pull out.
So Montoya on the brakes very late, can't get the car slowed down, has to straighten it up. Michael sees that region, he just pulls over to the right and just drives around the outside. Thank you, Juan Pablo. I thought you were smarter than you are.
Well, that was fantastic, but you can't say that.
Schumacher's looking over at Montoya. He's watching him. I bet you he's laughing his head off on that helmet.
I bet he is indeed, but he didn't.
Kits are getting ready to bring somebody in. Is it Michael Schumacher? I guess it's more likely to be Schumacher than Barrichello, because Barrichello is all by himself, but it may well be the Brazilian.
Barrichello is in the pits. He's out of that picture. Look, he should be in the back of that shot we just saw. So Barrichello will be coming into the pit lane. And look at the toe that Michael Schumacher's got this side. Coulthard goes to cover the line. Schumacher goes down the outside, and they just about touch. And once again,
Oh yes! Fantastic, and the crowd has gone berserk. They might well be Italians rather than Americans. They appreciated that. They love to see a fight, and my gosh, they go, now I bet Coulthard will move over and let Hakkinen through. Yes, that's exactly what he's done. He's done his job as best he could, knowing that he's under investigation. He's held Schumacher up as long as he has and could. The German has fought past him brilliantly. Hakkinen has taken over the attack now, and I'm expecting Coulthard, if the stewards say thumbs down, to be in shortly.
yes, it was very, very brave by Michael Schumacher. I have to say, Coulthard making life as difficult as he could, and then played it fair. It would have been awful if Coulthard had have bumped Schumacher out of there. It would not be the correct thing to do. That's not the sort of thing David would do. But he sure is going to make it as hard as he can. And Schumacher putting an enormous amount of faith in David Coulthard there with his championship chances. Incredible. Look at this. Squeezes Coulthard across the curb. They must have touched. That was so close.
Oh no! 16th lap, David Coulthard, of course, has already done so, and it's getting very close to push and shove for Michael Schumacher as the back of the McLaren steps out just a whisker, going through the Rettifilio, round the grand curve, and they go round the grand curve at a terrific speed.
Well, we now know.
Bang! What was that? That's
Coulthard blowing up.
David
both drivers. Let's have another look. And Lacey doing everything he possibly can right up the inside. He's not going to give that place up, but it's good, fantastic in fact, clean racing. Those cars are